Hi guys, and welcome to my Cat-Walk TBR video for July. Okay, so as of filming, where is my phone? It's the 18th of June, so I still technically have, obviously, until the rest of the month. So 13 more days until the last day. But I would need to film next week, either the 25th, 26th, or 27th. So that just gives me pretty much 7 days. Well, my TBR for June was so short, but did I complete it? As of right now, no. I have read one book on it, and I have read one additional book that was not on my TBR. Now I am in the process of 3 other books. These are not on my TBR, but I will be starting this one today as of when filming this one, which is the Colleen Fisher, which is the June book. I really do need to get this read because this is the June selection for the Autism Reads read along that I host Discord in the description box. So I do need to get to this one. This will be done this month. That leaves 3 physical books that I have not completed for the month of June. Now, I could very well complete those. I still also have to read the ebook, which was my punishment book, which I don't remember the name right off the top of my head, but so that's 4 books technically to read in just under 2 weeks. Completely doable. However, I don't know what these next 2 weeks are going to be like and how busy things are going to be and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and film now while I can. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a punishment. And if it turns out that I do finish all of my books, then whatever book I draw out of this, I will put back in here for the next time I have to do a punishment to draw out at a later point. So I'll keep this slip of paper on like my dresser or something. Hopefully I won't have to get to the punishment, but we'll see. I've kind of been, I don't want to say slumpy because I have felt like reading, but at the same time I've been more drawn to just playing a game on my phone. And so that's what I've been doing rather than reading. So, and you know what? There's just going to be months like that, and that is okay. Now, I am going to do things just a little bit differently. If I land on a YouTube prompt, I'm still going to pick a book for every single prompt, but I'm going to kind of add a little twist where I have to generate a number, and each number is in increments of 10, so between 1 and 10. For example, if I generate a random number of 8 after I've selected all the books, that means I have to read 80% of those books that I select for the YouTuber TBR game. So if I'm short by 20%, if that works out to be 1 or 2 books or 300 pages, that means I've passed, and as long as I've read everything else, including all the ones on my TBR game, then I don't have to take a punishment. So, giving myself a little wiggle room if it need be. I thought that would be fun. Again, no pressure. I don't care. I have over 800 unread books in my room, okay? That's in my closet, in nightstand drawers, because it's just me in my room. I don't have a partner or anything, a boyfriend or anything. So I have one nightstand, it has 2 drawers are full of books. I only need 1 drawer in the nightstand on the side of the bed that I sleep, which means that the other drawer is full of books. I have 2 bookcases, plus I have the one that you're seeing just kind of right there, full of books. I have a TBR cart, and I have books in my closet. I've got a lot of unread books. So having over 800 unread books can be intimidating to try and find a book to read. That's why I am not much of a mood reader, because I do get intimidated and overwhelmed by this vast selection. Is it going to stop me from buying books? Absolutely freaking not. Absolutely not. But making a TBR, even by narrowing it down to like 20 books, is much less manageable to me and is not quite so overwhelming when it comes to trying to pick a book. So, and if I don't read all of the books, I don't read all of them. I'll still continue to draw punishment, because most of these are going to be ebooks that I won from giveaways on Goodreads that I really should be getting to and trying to make more of a priority. So that's all this is. But again, if I don't get to all the books, perfectly fine. So, now I know I mentioned in my last video Cat-Walk TBR video, I was planning on trying to make a copy of this game for you guys to play along if you would like. I was sick, I had migraines, and then I had an anaphylactic allergic reaction. So that really fell off of my radar. So I am going to try and have that for the August game. I have taken a picture of the board game on my iPad. It was my grandma's iPad. I've taken a picture of it so that I can try to figure out how to make a Google document of it. So that will be more of a priority as long as my health is willing, which it shouldn't be much of an issue. But I will try to make it more of a priority to have that game so that you guys can play along if you would like as a Google Doc, but it would not be available until the August Cat-Walk TBR game. That's what I'm hoping. If my health just goes downhill, then hopefully September at the latest. I wanted August to be the absolute latest, so that is still my goal. But I need to figure out how to do that because I just didn't put forth the effort because it was a crappy health month for me. So let's go ahead and draw out the quote-unquote punishment read, even though it's not really a punishment read. So, and I haven't read my punishment read for this month yet because I really wanted to. There's another book I really wanted to get to, and sometimes that's okay too. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. So I've got the read out of my TBR jar. This will be what is labeled as the punishment read, but I'll keep this slip of paper on my dresser. If I complete all the books for June, then this will just go back into this, and I'll just scribble it out on my paper. So, okay. The book is called The Embers of Tradition. I don't know. There you go. So that's the book by Chuckwudum, Okeke. Let me look. I'm going to have to pull the synopsis up on Goodreads. Okay, so what I can see from Goodreads is this. The only tag is that this is a fiction. There's 6 ratings. It has a 5-star average rating. So, okay, let's see what the synopsis says. It says, and I may still read this, whether or not I have to read this with it being the punishment priority read for July, I may still say I still want to read it. So, what is birthed from a dead, despised, or abandoned culture? What leads to the death of tradition in a society? These are questions the Embers of Tradition explores with a wide sweeping look at the effects of colonization on the culture of the LGBO of southeastern Nigeria through the events that transpired in one family. Through Nweke, a respected, hot-tempered, and stubborn man, his relationship with his Ikenga, his family, his best friend, and his town, we see the many far-reaching consequences, some good, others devastating, of what rose from the embers of an interrupted cultural system. The Embers of Tradition illuminates the beauty and gore of foundational LGBO, or it could be IGBO, Igbo? I don't know for sure. Of this culture, let's see, and the changes through the ages, leaving one with a faint nostalgia for an uncolonized evolution. To remain relevant in a changing world, will Nweke do the unthinkable? So I'm still not sure what this is about. One of the reviews says a very interesting book. It shows the conflict between an established tradition and an emerging culture. It further established that both zeal and ignorance can be fatal. It also shows that while time can reveal the truth when hidden, it does not always completely heal the wounds associated with the journey of life. Still not sure what it's about, but this is one that I won from Goodreads, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah. Yep, this is one I won from Goodreads. So it is... I really need to get to this and do a review for it. So either way, I'll probably try to read it for July, even if I complete my June TBR. But I'll remove the pressure of making it a priority read for July if I do finish my June TBR. So that's where things are at. Let's now get into the rolls. I'll start with 5 rolls. Double adds an extra roll. And if I land on a YouTube one, that's when I come back. We will figure out how much of that TBR stack I have to read and all of that. But we'll address that when I get to it. And we will go from there. So let's get into the rolls. Okay, you guys are going to be hearing my mom practice the ukulele, which is fine. So let's first figure out which magnet. Okay, I guess we'll just go with that one. So that's the one we're playing with today. And now we need to figure out where we are starting. Okay, so I have 49 spots. All right. We're starting on spot 26. Okay, 26 is right here. And now we roll. So roll number 1. A 9. So we have a 5 and a 9. And make sure I'm moving in the right direction. So 26, 27. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A litter box. This is a book that has an ugly cover. Or a cover that I don't particularly like anyway. Okay, so that is spot number 35, which is, oh, I've shifted the board. Okay, so that's the second time landing on that square. As far as litter box, second time on litter box. So we're still good. The most I have is 5, it looks like, on any one particular, prompt as far as spaces. I think I'm okay for another round or two. So, yeah, because most I have is landing on one of them 3 times. All right, so as you saw, roll number 1, I landed on litter box. This is to read a book that, in my opinion, and this is all subject to opinion, in my opinion, doesn't have the best looking cover. Could be an ugly cover or could be one that I just go, yeah, it doesn't tell me any information. It's not aesthetically pleasing to me or whatever reason. So for this one, I decided to go ahead and put on the book for the July Autism Reads read along. And the book selection is Ginny Moon. This is not my favorite cover. It doesn't give me any information other than it's about someone named Ginny Moon, and that's evidently her, standing in a field. I don't particularly care for this cover. And in a month I may say, oh yeah, I kind of like this cover, but as of right now, I do not like this cover. So, yeah. One of the other things I really don't like, but it has nothing to do with the cover, is this book has deckled edges. I hate deckled edges so much. Okay, this one says, Ginny Moon is exceptional. Everyone knows it. Her friends at school, teammates on the basketball team, and especially her new adoptive parents. They all love her, even if they don't quite understand her. They want her to feel like she belongs. What they don't know is that Ginny has no intention of belonging. She's found her birth mother on Facebook and is determined to return to her, even if it means going back to a place that was extremely dangerous, because Ginny left something behind, and she's desperate to get it back, to make things right. But no one listens, no one understands. So Ginny takes matters into her own hands. So the synopsis doesn't really tell me anything. Let me see, does it say anything about... Okay, so the author has firsthand knowledge of adoption because he adopted someone and they adopted a teenager that has autism. And this is his debut novel. So, and this was written by Benjamin Ludwig. I think of Ludwig van Beethoven when I see that, but I could be wrong. Anyway, yeah, so cover's not giving me anything. The synopsis isn't really giving me anything other than that she's adopted and has to go back to her birth mother because of something. And that's it. So I am going to use this one as the litter box or ugly cover just because I don't particularly like this cover. So, and at least I have the July book on for autism reads. So that's good. I don't have to try and push that on somewhere else. So that's good. Okay, roll number 2. Okay, so we have a 5 and a 3, so I'm moving 8 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. Okay, we were very close, very close. Okay, so paw print. This is a book that has texture on the cover. Okay, so that is spot number 43. That's the second time landing on that square, and paw print, second time on paw print. Oh, paw print was right there. So, okay. Okay, so roll number 2, as you saw, was paw print. This is a book that has texture on the cover. For this one, I am going to go with Mastering the Art of French Murder by Colleen Cambridge. Now, you would think there is no texture here, and you'd be right, until you take the dust jacket off. And then there is texture. That's indented, it's foiled, it's got texture. This is still a cover. That's still the cover. It's not the dust jacket, but there is texture here. So this is what I'm going to use for this one. And it says, as Paris rediscovers its joie de vivre, Tabitha Knight recently arrived from Detroit for an extended stay with her French grandfather. Is on her own journey of discovery. Paris isn't just the city of light, it's the city of history, romance, stunning architecture, and food. Thanks to her neighbor and friend Julia Child, another expat who's fallen head over heels for Paris, Tabitha is learning how to cook for her grandpère and Uncle Rafe. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like uncle, but it's spelled with an O. Between tutoring Americans in French, visiting the market, and eagerly sampling the results of Julia's studies at Le Cordon Bleu cooking school, Tabitha's sojourn is proving thoroughly delightful. That is, until the cold December day, they return to Julia's building and learn that a body has been found in the cellar. Tabitha recognizes the victim as a woman she'd met only the night before at a party given by Julia's sister, Dort. The murder weapon found nearby is recognizable too, a knife from Julia's kitchen. Tabitha is eager to help the investigation, but is shocked when Inspector Merivale reveals that a note in Tabitha's handwriting was found in the dead woman's pocket. Is this murder a case of international intrigue or something far more personal? From the shadows of the Tour Eiffel at midnight, to the tiny third-floor child kitchen, to the grungy streets of Montmartre, Tabitha navigates through the city hoping to find the real killer before she or one of her friends ends up in prison or worse. And I love the sprayed stenciled edge. So, looking forward to that one. Roll number 3. Another 8. Still no doubles. Okay, so 5 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cat videos. Okay, TBR game. We will come back to that one. Now I just did a tally mark because there was one round where I landed on cat video twice. So, yeah. Okay, so that was space number 2 for cat videos. That puts me at 5 times on that square. So, but no extra rolls yet. Okay, so back to the second time for roll number 3. Okay, we have a 6 and a 5, so 11 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Best in Show. This is a book that I think has a beautiful cover. I like it when I get 2 prompts that are opposite. So we got ugly cover, and now we have beautiful cover. Okay, and that is spot number 13. Second one on that square. Beautiful cover. Oh, best in show right here. So we're up to 4 on that one. Roll number 3. The prompt that I landed on, or the score I landed on, was Best in Show. This is a book that has a beautiful cover. For this one, I'm going to go with The Lost Melody by Joanna, Davidson, Politano. There's the front. There is the back. This is my favorite part of the dust jacket cover part with the antique piano, but sprayed edges. But here we go. It looks like it's a musical program under the dust jacket. So, The Lost Melody. The light, of course, in the darkest moments, one must always look for the light. Oh, stunning, stunning. Absolutely stunning. Okay. This one says, when concert pianist Vivienne Mordaunt's father dies, he leaves to her the care of a patient at Hurstwell Asylum. Vivienne had no idea the woman existed, and yet her portrait is shockingly familiar. When the asylum claims she was never a patient there, Vivienne is compelled to discover what happened to the figure she remembers from childhood dreams. The longer she lingers in the deep shadows and forgotten towers at Hurstwell, the fuzzier the line between sanity and madness becomes. She hears music no one else does, receives strange missives with rose petals between the pages, and untangles far more than is safe for her to know. But can she uncover the truth about the mysterious woman she seeks? And is there anyone at Hurstwell she can trust with her suspicions? All right. Prompt number 4, or roll number 4. Adding in 1 because we have a double. So a 1 and a 1. So I'm moving 2 spots. Okay, making sure I'm going in the right direction. Okay, 1, 2, Mealtime. This is a book that has food on the cover. Okay, that is spot number, oh, I've crinkled that page behind there and it's bugging me. All right, spot number 15. That's the third one on that square. Mealtime. Right here, that is 4 tallies on Mealtime. All right, now this next one, prompt number 4, I landed on was Mealtime. This is a book that has food on the cover. I'm going with a cozy mystery on this one. And I'm going with book number 4 in the Kitchen Witch Mystery series written by Lynn Cahoon. This one is 4 Charming Spells. And there are like scones or biscuits or something here. I mean, it's in a kitchen. I can see potted plants, containers of like tea and coffee, but there literally is, the cat is pawing at some kind of food on the table. And let me see if I can, there you go, you can see it better. So right there, so there's the cat pawing at something on the table. So that's like biscuits or cinnamon rolls or something. So, but there is food. I'm counting this one. It says, Before Me I'm Alone. Now this is number 4, but generally with cozy mysteries, you can read them in any order. I do recommend, if you are going to do that, definitely read the first book in the series before picking up a random one later on in the series, because the first one you're going to have more of the character development and world building. After that, at least so far in this series, it hasn't mattered. So I will be reading the synopsis on this one. It says, Before Me I'm Alone can sip tea at Time for a Cuppa, the charming new shop in Magic Springs, Idaho. Her life changes course in downright supernatural ways. First, her blossoming catering business and cooking school get a boost with the addition of an enchanting cake decorator. Then she catches the attention of the tea shop owner herself, local coven member Mahogany Medford, who's set on immersing Mia in a twisted mystery that appears all but unsolvable without a special kind of help. Still reeling from the recent loss of her mother and believing there was more to the abrupt death, Mahogany urges Mia to cast light on the truth. But old secrets might come back to haunt her in an investigation that demands conjuring up phantoms from the past on the property of Mia's morsels. Now, wearing Gran's protective stone and empowered by a circle of trusted confidants, Mia must reveal who or what killed Miss Medford as another deadly surprise brews. So this is the most recent one out. I did do a Goodreads search. There is a 5th book coming out, like 5 Charming Familiars or something like that. And I saw that. It's not supposed to come out until February. I just found that today, so I went ahead and pre-ordered it because I want this whole series. So this will work for food on the cover. Okay, now what should have been the last roll, but because of the double is not. So roll number 5. Okay, I've got a 6 and a 2, so 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Instagram, a random picture. Okay. Or Catstagram, I should say. Okay, that is spot number 23. So that's the second one on that square. Catstagram. Okay, we're up to 6 tallies on Catstagram. Okay, so what should have been the last one, but was not because we got a double, is Catstagram. That's to find a random picture. Then I'm going to pick a book based on that picture. So I'm going to go to Instagram. I'll turn the light on this ring light off. Okay. Now I am going to scroll down just once because it's a little kid and I don't want to put that kid on the camera. So I've just moved by 1. Now I'm just going to and see where it stops. Oh, it's this guy. He does a video. Oh, he does Disney stuff. Okay. He opens Thomas English, and he is like a Disney aficionado type of a thing. He does these mystery unboxings. He is from Essex, England. He now lives in Arizona, it looks like. And he goes to Disneyland. He does like, he is fun to watch. He does these like American moms versus British moms in Disneyland. What it's like to graduate from school in America versus England. So he does some really cool stuff. Okay, I found a book that will fit for this one. I'm going to go with like a Disney story retelling from a Disney movie that I saw. I'm going with Cinderella. This book is called Cinder-Nanny. This is by Sarah Wilson. And this one says, she's falling in love with royalty. He's falling in love with a fantasy. And you'll see, as I read the synopsis, where the Cinderella vibes come from. Okay? It even says Cinderella in the synopsis. It says, with her sister's medical bills mounting, Diana Parker can't say no to a high-paying opportunity like this. Accompany a wealthy couple to Aspen and nanny their precious 5-year-old son for 3 months. Necessary qualifications? She must know how to ski and teach math, speak fluent French, excel at social graces, and hold a master's degree in childhood development. Who'll be the wiser that Diana's only skill is packing for Colorado? So far, so good. Having a con woman for a mother has turned out to be a benefit, even if Diana has complicated feelings about telling lies. But she's doing this for her sister, and the perks, like a ticket to a lavish charity fundraiser, a new gown, and a Prince Charming adjacent earl named Griffin Windsor, are pretty irresistible. Diana can't deny the Cinderella vibe. Weary of gold diggers and scandal, England's most eligible bachelor is nevertheless falling for Diana and sweeping the not-quite princess off her feet. The warmer their relationship becomes, the slipperier the slopes are for Diana. Sooner or later, she'll have to come clean. When that happens, does an honest-to-goodness happy ending stand a chance? So, take on Cinderella, that's what I'm going with. Okay? So, that will work. Now, what is hopefully the last roll. Roll number 6 because of that double. Okay, so we have a 6 and a 2, so at least it's not a double. Let's see where that takes us. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, box time. This is a book from a book box or that was gifted to me because they come in packages or boxes. So. Okay, and now just to tally things up for the last time, that is spot number 31. Okay, we're up to 2 marks on that spot. And as far as box time, We're up to 2 marks on that. So not having to add any extra, which I think we'll be able to play another couple of months before I do. All right, so I ended up with 6 rolls because I ended up with a double, and the prompt for that was box time. So this is a book that was from a book box or a book that was gifted. I'm going with book box. This has been on a previous TBR, which is going to be a recurring theme on this channel. But I do really still want to get to this one, and that is The Secret History by Donna Tart. So this came, as you can tell, it's a little dusty, from Book of the Month, when I subscribed to Book of the Month. And this one says, under the influence of their charismatic classic professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, they slip gradually from obsession to corruption and betrayal, and at last, inexorably, into evil. Yeah. So these are the books for July that I need to get to. 6 physical books, and if I don't finish my June TBR, I've already pulled a punishment book, which is an ebook, so there could end up being 7 books on this. Now I did end up in this game, as you will have seen, one of the rolls was for cat videos, so I need to pull a booktuber that does a TBR game, and we'll go from there. So, okay, so as you can see on one of the squares, I ended up on cat videos. So I need to draw a booktuber that has a TBR game. Some of these have not posted in a long time. Some people have removed their videos and closed their channels out. So we'll see what I can get. But I do need to pick a book for every prompt. And then at the end, I will figure out how many pages that is from their game and generate the random number 1 to 10. Each one equals like 10%. So 1 is 10%, 2 is 20%, etc. for how much I have to complete in order to consider that portion of this game won. Okay, so let's draw. See which booktuber I'm going to be looking at their game. If it's several months old, I'll probably just pull someone else. Let's see. Okay, no, she does them. Okay, Kelsey. Kelsey, I love Kelsey's channel. Bookishly Nerdy, she does a TBR basket. I love Kelsey's channel. If you have not seen her channel, I highly, highly recommend checking it out. Awesome. She reads quite a bit of romance too. I like her suggestions with romance, and I've gotten a couple of books on my radar from how she's talked about them. Okay, so I've just looked up Kelsey's channel. Her most recent game was, I couldn't remember if it was May or June. She does have the June game out. So obviously where we're not in July yet, her July game isn't live yet, at least as of filming this, where I'm on the 18th. So I will watch her June Basket of Reads TBR game to find the prompts, and then I'll pick the books for those prompts, and then I'll calculate the pages. We'll do the random number generator and go from, whoa, getting a frog there, and we will go from there. We do have some company in now, so as of filming this, so I'm going to go hang out with company, and then I'll watch the video, so when I come back, it's going to be dark outside. So, but for you, it'll only be like half a second. Okay, so as you can see, it is later. Just as a reminder, from my game, these are the books. So I have Ginny Moon, Mastering the Art of French Murder, The Lost Melody, 4 Charming Spells, Cinder-Nanny, and The Secret History, as well as the ebook, but I don't know if I'll get to that one, or if I'll need to. So just as a reminder, if I don't finish my June TBR, because today's only the 18th, if I don't finish the other 3 books, well 4 including my June punishment, or my punishment for May for not finishing May, then that's 4 books. Well, technically 5, because there's one of them I haven't started yet. So anyway, okay. So I had pulled for the cat videos Kelsey from Bookishly Nerdy. She has a basket of TBR where she has these little balls that had something in them, and she's put TBR reading prompts inside these balls. They're in a basket. She mixes it up, pulls one out, picks a book for the prompt that's in the little sphere thing that was in the basket. I highly recommend her channel if you haven't checked it out yet. It's awesome. She does a really good job, and sometimes her husband's on there and they are awesome together. They're one of my favorite videos when her and her husband are together in the videos. So she drew a total of 8 times out of her basket. So I have picked the books. Now we'll go through the books. I'll tell you what the total page count is for just the books for this portion, the cat videos portion. And then we'll do the random number generator from 1 to 10 to figure out what percentage I have to complete in order to have this done. And this is a new thing. I haven't done this before, but I think this will be fun. Could be 100%. Maybe I have to read it all. I don't know. But honestly, if that's the case, I am not mad about that. I think that'll be fairly easy this month for Kelsey's portion of my cat videos TBR. So prompt number 1 was a book out of your comfort zone. So I'm going with this one. I like romance. Okay. Out of my comfort zone means the more spicier it is, the more uncomfortable I have gotten. And I've heard this is supposed to be pretty spicy, and that is Night, City of Sisterly Love, Book 1 by AK Landow. I did get this one. I tried Romance Reveal, that book box, and someone commented and said they're all pretty spicy. So that is out of my comfort zone quite a bit. So this one says, looks like it's 2 POVs. One is Jackson and one is Darian. Jackson says, I've given up on finding love. I'm fine loving my kids and not having that special someone to share my life with. That's until Darian Lawrence walked into my life. She's changing everything. I thought that I knew. She's beautiful, sexy, smart, funny, and a little dirty. She suffered loss and may not be ready to love me, but I'm ready to love her. And then under Darian it says, my soulmate left this world too soon. Part of me died with him. I'll never get it back. I don't know if I want it back. That's until a chance encounter with the handsome Jackson Knight reawakens a long dormant part of me, a part that I thought was forever gone. But I don't know if I can betray my past to have a future. So, and then what's cool about this book is it is signed. The Romance Reveal does come with signed books. So, and the print is at some points fairly large. I just went past some that was. Maybe, oh yeah, see. So the formatting is a little weird. And then in other parts it's more normal. So you can't really tell the difference there. But, so I have this one. Okay, so that's that one. And then I have, okay, so the second prompt that she pulled was a book with an Asian main character or an author. I went with author and I decided to throw on a manga. I'm going with Deserter by Junji Ito. This is a collection of short stories, all horror. It says, a vengeful family hides an army deserter for 8 years after the end of World War II, cocooning him in a false reality where the war never ended. A pair of girls looks alike, but they're not twins, and a boy's nightmare threatens to spill out into the real world. This hauntingly strange story collection showcases a dozen of Junji Ito's earliest works from when he burst onto the horror scene, sowing fresh seeds of terror. So, I'm really looking forward to that. I really like Junji Ito's work. Really like Junji Ito. So, looking forward to that. Okay. And that might be one of the longest, if not the longest book, because that one is 384 pages. That is the longest one out of this stack for this portion of my game. Okay, prompt number 3 that Kelsey pulled is to read a nonfiction. I'm going to go with one that's really, really short. This one was my grandma's, and I may go ahead and unhaul this one after I read it. But that is A Little Spoonful of Chicken Soup for the Mother's Soul. Chicken Soup for the Soul is generally a collection of short stories or anthologies or a collection of stories all written by different authors. It's all true life, first-hand experience. So this one I guess will be quotes from various people like forever, for always, and no matter what. Something about love notes. So just Yeah. And this is less than 100 pages. I don't see myself rereading something like this. So this I'll probably just read the once and then go ahead and pass this along so that someone else can enjoy this in the future is what I'm thinking. But we'll see how I feel when I read that one. So this is going to be my nonfiction selection. Okay. Prompt number 4 is to read a book that is under 200 pages. I really wanted to get a Fear Street book, so I'm going with The Perfect Date by R.L. Stine. This is 147 pages, so definitely underneath the 200 page mark. These are horror thrillers, more young adult. It says, Brady Carlin is getting on with his life. The memory of his girlfriend, killed in a gruesome sledding accident last year, is beginning to fade. Now he's met Rosha Nelson, the girl of his dreams, and he's never been happier. Until Brady starts to see a strange figure with a terribly scarred face, following him everywhere. Until the horrible accidents start happening, every time Rosha's around. Has dating Rosha made Brady's dreams come true, or brought his worst nightmares back to life? I love the books that take place in the Fear Street world, and I'm working my way through the original Fear Street series. So, yep. Alrighty, I am looking forward to that one. Next up, what am I doing? Okay. Poll number 5 was to read a graphic novel or a manga. Happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the Phoebe and Her Unicorn series with the 11th. I have through number 13, so I have the next 2 up on deck. But I wanted to go ahead and get back into this one. And this one is just, it's like a graphic novel. It's a collection of comics. There's no real plot. At times there might be a couple of pages where it does follow a plot, like if they go to camp or school or something. But you're just following Phoebe, and she finds this unicorn gazing in a pool of water in book 1, and the unicorn can't break away. Phoebe's skipping rocks. The rock hits the unicorn. The unicorn grants wish, and Phoebe wishes to become best friends with the unicorn, who is Marigold. And they become best friends, and now we're just following on some little mini adventures. So, graphic novel, and number 11 in the Phoebe and Her Unicorn series. So that'll be a really quick read to get through. Some of these I plan on getting through in one day. Okay, this one was a little interesting. So this next poll number 6 that Kelsey did, happened to be Becca's Bookopoly. Now, I did not participate in Becca's Bookopoly last time. If I did, it was extremely low-key, and I don't think I really did much, if anything. So I didn't have access. I could have gone and just done like a YouTube search or found someone else's prompt, but I thought, let me see what Kelsey does for this. So she found her board. She rolled from where she landed last time. So I'm going with the prompt that Kelsey landed on for her June Becca's Bookopoly prompt for her basket of reads. So this one she landed on third person. So this is a book that has the third person perspective. So you have the first person, I, me, mine. Second person is you, yours, that type of a thing. Third person, he, she, they. So this one I'm going to go with a romance. I'm going to read another Donna Ashcroft, and that is The Little Cornish House. This one, I figured out that it starts in third person. I thought this would be harder to find. But I was like, oh, I wonder about one of these ones, something very light and that'll be quick to get through. And it talks about, it says, Ruby Penelgan laid her head against the train window as it chugged its way through the Cornish countryside, past winding wooded villages. She pressed her nose to the glass. She wanted to bounce on her seat. She let out a long breath. So, third person. Okay, this one says, 30-year-old Ruby is done with love. No more drama, no more complications, no more men. She's living life for herself, and that's just the way she likes it. But her whole world is turned upside down when her grandmother calls to say her beloved pottery business is failing, and she might lose her beautiful little Cornish house by the sea. She needs Ruby to come back to Cornwall and save the day. And these are small town romance. And I think this one takes place in Scotland. Returning to Indigo Cove stirs up memories Ruby would rather forget, but she's determined to save her grandmother's home. As the summer hots up, so does the pressure on Ruby, and she's in need of a distraction. Although quite literally walking into Gabe Roskilly, the sexy and brooding owner of the local brewery, wasn't part of her game plan. Ruby tries to ignore her attraction to Gabe, but it's impossible to avoid the tall, dark, handsome stranger, as Gabe is at the center of village life. And when Ruby's plans for the little Cornish house start to fall apart, she discovers Gabe might be the one person who can help her. Ruby's promise to stay single is tested to the limit. But are Gabe's intentions all good, or is Ruby about to get her heart broken again? I really like Donna Ashcroft's writing, and they're just very sweet, small town romance. They have been spicy, open door, but very much done in like a tender way. So, okay, moving on. Poll number 7, we have 2 more left. Poll number 7 is a library book. So to read a library book, I do have a stack of library books that I will be working on getting my way through. I did not want to get the biggest one that I have. I think I'll be able to get hopefully one more library book in this month before next month, before June, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, so out of the stack of library books that I have, they're all romance. I decided to go with the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa K. Adams. Yeah, I just know that a lot of people have been liking this and I've been intrigued, so why not? It says, Nashville's Legends second baseman Gavin Scott's marriage is in major league trouble. He's recently discovered a humiliating secret. His wife Thea has always faked the big O. When he loses his cool at the revelation, it's the final straw on their already strained relationship. Thea asks for a divorce, and Gavin realizes he's let his pride and fear get the better of him. Welcome to the Bromance Book Club. Distraught and desperate, Gavin finds help from an unlikely source, a secret romance book club made up of Nashville's top alpha men. With the help of their current read, a steamy Regency novel titled Courting the Countess, the guys coach Gavin on saving his marriage, but it'll take a lot more than flowery words and grand gestures for this hapless Romeo to find his inner hero and win back the trust of his wife. First rule of book club, you don't talk about book club. So, the Bromance Book Club. So that'll be my library book selection for June. Now we have one more. And the last poll that Kelsey got was a yearly reading goal. So I had to kind of think about this one. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do for this. And then I realized I created at the beginning of the year 40 books I want to read before I turn 40. Haven't made much a dent in that. And then I also have a video out, and I have them written down in a notebook, of 12 classics I would like to read in 12 months. So I decided to go with that one because one of the classics is actually very short. And for that one, I went ahead and picked The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. This is 124 pages, at least this edition is. So, you know what, it's like for the stack of books I have, it's good to have another short book on here. I've got, I've got a lot of short books. So I really think that my June TBR will be doable, but I said that about I think my July stack will be doable, but I said that about my June and I read one book off of my TBR. But The Turn of the Screw, the short story by Henry James, it says, by the comforts of a blazing fireplace on a cold Christmas Eve night, guests at a holiday party share stories of phantoms and ghosts of Christmases past. Yet one guest delivers a tale of sheer fright for which no one listening was prepared. As the story goes, after losing both parents, a young boy and girl move into a large wooded estate to be held under the care of their uncle, wanting nothing to do with raising the children. The uncle hires a young governess to attend to their care. Yet the governess never could have anticipated the horrors that await her discovery. When it becomes evident that the children have some supernatural connection with the deceased former governess and her lover, the young governess finds herself scrambling to regain control of the two children slipping away from her grasp. Now this actually sounds really good. I haven't really heard, I think I've heard one person talk about it and was like messed up or something, but I could be wrong on that, but I think it sounds pretty good. So definitely. Okay, so these are the books for that I pulled for the cat videos, for the books that Kelsey drew from her basket of TBR reads. Did I get the name of that wrong? Probably. TBR basket. So what I'm going to do now is I've already added up the pages. So this stack is 1,760 pages. I generally can read a couple thousand, so you know, around $3,000, 3,000 pages a month easily, generally depending on my mood. So that stack seems very doable. Now, let's pull up, okay, so I have the random number generator, and I'm going to change the max number to 10. And then we're going to figure out what percentage of all of those pages, of the 1,760 pages I have to read. So like if I have to read all of the books for my Cat-Walk TBR board game, I have to read all of those. But then all these books that I selected for the prompts that Kelsey drew from her TBR basket, what percentage of this stack of books do I have to read? So, okay. So I have 1 to 10 in each one. So like the 1%, I only have to read, if I get 1, it's 10%. 10 would be 100%. 7, so 70%. Okay, so I have to read 70%. So that means I have to read 1,232 pages out of the ones from the Cat-Walk TBR video. So that's not bad. So I only need, instead of the 1,760 out of these, it's 1,232 pages out of this stack that I have to read. Honestly, the turn of the screw I can see being done in one day. And these ones all done in one day. These ones will take a couple of days to get through, so really I think that's pretty doable. But again, I said that for my June TBR, and now look where I'm at on it. So, but on top of that, I do have to read all of these books. And then there might be, if I finish the books for June, I might end up having another one, but that would be an ebook. So I do have to read 100% of these ones, and these are the ones from my actual board game. So again, 70% of the one from the prompts that I got from Kelsey's June TBR basket game. So that's it. Let me know if you've read from any of these authors. What are you most excited to get to? Have you read any of these books? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I'll talk to you later.